Okay, we'll begin. Om Jnana-timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chaksurmilitanyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Anchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We're reading the Brhad Bhagavatamrta and we're hearing how Narada Muni is searching for the person who has received the greatest mercy from Lord Krishna.
我们聆听的这部书是《大伯加尔堂甘露》，拿尔的穆尼在寻找谁得到了主 Krishna 最大的仁慈。
So he had gone to the heavenly planets and he thought Indra was the greatest devotee. But Indra told him, no, Brahma is much better than me. So Narada Muni came to the planet of Lord Brahma.
拿尔去了天堂之后呢，见到主英者，主英者就告诉他，我并不是得到了主 Krishna 最大的仁慈 ，Brahma 得到了最大的仁慈。
So Narada Muni glorified Lord Brahma as being the greatest devotee, but Lord Brahma did not accept the words of Narada Muni.
Brahma 就赞扬拿尔的赞扬 Brahma 是最伟大的奉献者，但是Brahma 就说我并没有得到主 Krishna 最大的仁慈。
So Lord Brahma is explaining to Narada Muni why he's not really a great devotee.
Brahma 就向拿尔的穆尼解释说，为什么他并不是最伟大的、最了不起的奉献者。
And Brahma says, I become proud of my birth because I took birth from the lotus flower which came from the navel of Lord Vishnu.
Brahma 说，我为我的出生感到骄傲，因为我是诞生于 Vishnu 的莲花旗肚脐上长出的这朵莲花。
And he said, I'm always burdened by the problems of managing the universe.
Brahma 说，我也因为管理整个宇宙，有时候变得焦头烂额，整天就是忧心忡忡。
And I worry about the destruction of my own planet.
我因为我的星球也会早晚有一天将要毁灭，所以我也是很担心的。
And all I really want for myself, what I really want to get is liberation.
我想的就是我自己该如何获得解脱。
And for the purpose of trying to get liberation, I engage other people to worship the Supreme Lord, and I also worship Him myself.
为了解脱的目的，我就使其他人来崇拜主，并且我自己也亲自崇拜主。
So the Supreme Lord, the Lord of the universe, He lives everywhere. He doesn't just live on my planet.
至尊主他无处不在，他不仅仅只是居住在我的星球。
Because Narada Muni was glorifying Lord Brahma that you're so fortunate the Lord resides on your planet. But Lord Brahma says, no, He resides everywhere.
Narada 就荣耀赞美 Brahma 说，但至尊主就居住在你的星球上。但是主 Brahma 说，他不仅仅居住在我的星球上，他也别的地方他也住。
And Lord Brahma is saying that Lord Brahma is actually saying, I'm worshipping the Lord just for my own benefit, to get liberation. I'm not worshipping Him out of devotion. If I was really a good devotee, I would worship him just with pure devotion. But I'm worshipping him for my own benefit. I want to get liberation.
Brahma 也坦诚地对他的说：“我之所以崇拜主，我是为了我自己的好处，为了我自己得到解脱。如果我是一个好奉献者的话，那么我就会怀着纯粹的爱来崇拜了。”
So you shouldn't think the worship which I'm doing is a sign of my getting. Don't think I got special mercy from the Lord. I'm just worshipping him for my own benefit.
不要认为我得到了特殊的仁慈，所以才得以崇拜主。我只是为了我自己的好处来崇拜的。
And he doesn't just live on this planet. He lives everywhere. He's inside and outside of everything.
他不仅居住在这个星球，他也在万事万物之内，万事万物之外。
And the Lord, he accepts offering. When I do sacrifice, the Lord will accept the offerings from me. But he only accepts them just to encourage the teachings of the Vedas and to show special favor to the sacrifices themselves.
当至尊主在祭祀当中接受这些贡品的时候，他只是为了韦达经的缘故来接受的，他是为了来赞许祭祀这个程序。
Yeah, the Vedic sacrifices are actually created by the Lord himself, so they're very dear to him.
韦达祭祀实际上是至尊主亲自创造的，因此至尊主非常喜欢祭祀。
Yeah, they're dear to the Lord because they give benefit to all the people who engage in his service.
因为献祭可以给所有参加从事跟献祭有关的活动的人们，给这所有的人们带来好处。
The Supreme Lord is eager to bring all the conditioned souls back to Godhead, back to his abode.
主是非常热切的希望所有受条件限制的灵魂回到他那里，回到神手身边。
So the Lord reciprocates with Brahma because the Lord is concerned for the welfare of the universe.
所以至尊主就以这种方式和 Brahma 互动交流，因为他很关注整个宇宙的福祉。
It's not that the Lord is so much interested in Brahma, but he's interested in all the living entities.
与其说至尊主他关注 Brahma， 不如说至尊主关注所有的众生的福祉。
So Brahma is describing the thoughts. He's describing the limitations of this kind of religious practice.
Brahma 形容了就这种宗教法门，这种宗教实践的它的局限性。
Like offering sacrifices, you have God, but God is kept, the Supreme Lord is kept at a distance away from the devotees.
当人举行献祭的时候，神就和奉献者之间呢有拉开了距离。
And there's no consideration about the Lord having compassion for other living beings.
并且在这之中呢，并没有考虑到至尊主他对其他的生物也是心怀怜悯的。
Actually, the Lord cares about all living beings. He has personal concern for all the living beings.
事实上，主关心所有的众生，他对所有的众生都十分亲爱。
Even though many living beings, they're living in the material world and they just don't care, they forget about the Lord. for a very, very long time they forget about him, but the Lord never forgets them.
在物质世界的生物，长久以来，他们根本不在乎主，也忘记了主，但是主却没有忘记他们。
So Lord Brahma says to Narada Muni, the Supreme Lord only loves devotion, and he shows his mercy only to his devotees, not to non-devotees.
Brahma 说，主至尊主，他只热爱他的奉献者，他对于奉爱，他只关注的是奉爱。
So this is, of course, this is confirmed in many scriptures in different places, that the Lord is only pleased by devotional service.
在经典当中呢，有许多话都证实了这一点。至尊主他只被奉爱所取悦。
He can only be understood by pure devotion.
只有透過純粹的奉愛，才可以了解主。
So Brahma says to Narada Muni, I don't have any devotion for him.
Brahma 就对他的牧女说：“我对主并没有什麼奉愛之情。”
I would be happy if it was true that I never offered him, that I never offend him.
倘若我從來沒有冒犯過他，我就已經心滿意足了。
I cannot expect he won't tolerate my offenses. He may tolerate Lord Shiva's offenses, but he won't tolerate my offenses.
他也許能夠容忍主 Shiva 的冒犯，但是他可不會容忍我對他的冒犯。
And Brahma gives the example. He said, I give benedictions to that wicked Hiranyakashipu. When he worshipped me, I gave him benedictions.
接着 Brahma 又說，當那個邪惡的 Hiranyakashipu 崇拜我的時候，我就給他賜福。
And he tormented all the world. He gave trouble to all the world. And he was dedicated to violence, especially to the Vaishnavas. He gave a lot of trouble to the Vaishnavas.
Hiranyakashipu 折磨了3個世界，他尤其對 Vaishnava 們犯下了暴行。
So then Lord Nrsingadev came, and Lord Nrsingadev destroyed Hiranyakashipu.
然後主Nrsingadev顯現之後，就殺死了 Hiranyakashipu。
So at that time, Lord Brahma said, I came there with my entourage, so many demigods, and we all stood, and we were very afraid of Lord Nrsingadev. We stood at some distance away from him, and we tried to glorify him. We tried to offer prayers, but he would not even listen to us.
在那個時候，我就帶着我所有的這些隨行人員，那些辦事人們，就來到主跟前，就來到主這裡，然後我們都遠遠的站在主很遠的地方，我們試圖用我們的祈禱來平息主、安撫主，但是他根本就不用。Sorry, yeah.
你說完了？
Finish. 說完了。
Okay, so Lord Nrsingadev didn't even look at us. But when Prahlad came, and then the Lord at once became peaceful.
主甚至根本就不听我們的，而且他甚至但是當 Prahlad 來的時候，主立即就變得很平靜了。
So Brahma said, I tried to approach Lord Nrsingadev, but he said to me, he said in an angry voice, he said, don't give any of these benedictions to the demons again.
我試圖就接近主， 但是主就非常生气的对我说，再也不要向这些恶魔们给予他们祝福了。
But Brahma says that I kept giving benedictions to demons, and I gave benedictions to that demon Ravana.
但是 Brahma 说，我仍然持续不断的还在祝福这些恶魔们，我祝福了恶魔 Ravana。
I don't like to use my tongue to even speak about all the sins which that person Ravana did.
我甚至都不想用舌头说来例举那个恶魔 Ravana 所做下的种种的罪行。
So Brahma is going to describe the offences which he considers he was responsible for doing offences against the Lord.
Brahma 就接下来他就要来例举他对主所做的种种的冒犯。
So he talked about Hiranyakashipu, and then Brahma also tells about how Lord Nrsimhadev was angry at him for his mistake to give benedictions to Hiranyakashipu.
Brahma 谈到了提然呀喀什布的时候，就说，主你圣哈贝因为他给予提然呀喀什布祝福，因此就对他非常不满意。
So Brahma had given Hiranyakashipu benedictions, promising him that he would be invincible, that nobody would be able to kill him.
Brahma 就曾经祝福了提然喀什布，让他不会被任何条件所杀死。
And because of the benedictions which Brahma gave Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyakashipu did many offences against the devotees and against the Lord himself.
正是由于 Brahma 给予这个恶魔这么多的祝福，所以这个大恶魔就对那些众生，对那些婆罗门做下了暴行，甚至他也冒犯了主本人。
The Lord takes offences against his devotees more serious than offences against himself.
就是比起对他本人所做下的冒犯，主并不是很看重，但是主非常的在意对他的奉献者所做下的这些冒犯。
So after Lord Nrsimhadev killed Hiranyakashipu, Brahma and the other demigods tried to pacify the Lord.
当主杀死了提然呀喀什布之后呢， Brahma 和其他的半神就试图来让至尊主变得平静下来。
The demigods all thought that Lord Nrsimhadev would be kind to them and give them blessings.
他们都以为主会对他们非常的仁慈，并且祝福他们。
They thought maybe Lord Nrsimhadev would place his lotus feet on their heads.
他们以为主尼申哈贝布会将他的莲花手放在他们头顶上祝福他们。
But Lord Nrsimhadev was so angry that he didn't even recognize the demigods.
但是主呢，申哈贝布他是如此的盛怒，他甚至都没有认可这些半神人的在场。
And then finally, Brahma got the courage to come in front of him. And then the Lord also told that he was not pleased.
那最后呢，主 Brahma 本人就鼓起了勇气，就来到主呢申哈贝布面前。但是主呢申哈贝布告诉他，他对他根本就不满意。
And it was only when Prahlad came and offered prayers that Lord Nrsimhadev became peaceful and calm.
最终，当小 Prahlad 来到主面前的时候，只有在这个时候，主才变得，怒气才消下来，他才变得平和了。
And so then at that time, Brahma thought that now that Lord Nrsimhadev is calm, He said, now I will go and offer my respects and prayers to him.
这时候 Brahma 就心里想，主，你生的 Dave 现在终于平静了，我可以去向他献上祈祷。
But Lord Nrsingadev was still angry at Brahma.
但是主，你生的 Dave 仍然对 Brahma 十分的愤怒。
And Lord Nrsingadev said to him, as told in the Srimad Bhagavatam, he says to Lord Brahma, he said, oh great Lord, born from the lotus flower, it is dangerous to feed milk to a snake.
在圣殿博伽瓦坛当中就描述了主你生下对 Brahma 说的话，他说：“我亲爱的主 Brahma 呀，诞生于莲花池上的伟大的主人呐，用牛奶来喂养毒蛇是非常危险的。”
The same way, it's dangerous to give benedictions to demons.
所以，同样的方式给予恶魔祝福也是同样危险的。
Demons are always angry and envious and jealous.
恶魔们他们总是嫉妒，并且危险，并且是有很重的嫉妒之心。
So don't give any benedictions to the demons again.
不要给这些恶魔们祝福了。
So Lord Nrsingadev didn't want to excuse Brahma for his mistake in giving these benedictions to the demon.
主尼申和 Dave 不想原谅主 Brahma 给了恶魔这些祝福。
Even though Brahma was born from the navel of Lord Vishnu, but still Lord Nrsingadev chastised him and told him, you did wrong.
即便主Brahma 是诞生于至尊主本人生长出的这朵莲花之上，但是主并不想原谅 Brahma 所犯下的这些错误。
Brahma's a jiva, and jivas have the tendency to make mistakes.
Brahma 他也是一个个体灵魂，个体灵魂就有犯错的倾向。
And later on, we see Brahma gave Ravan, also he gave Ravan benedictions, and he benedicted Ravan with supernatural power.
后来我们看到，普罗赫摩又给了 Ravana 一个祝福，他祝福 Ravana 拥有超自然的力量。
So when Ravana got that power, then he disturbed the whole world, and he offended Lord Ramachandra, and he kidnapped Mother Sita, he committed many sins.
当 Ravana 得到了这份力量之后，他就骚扰了全世界，冒犯了主 Ramachandra， 绑架了 Sita， 并且犯下了种种的恶行。
And Brahma says, do you remember the offenses committed against the Lord by Indra and the other demigods?
Brahma 普罗赫摩就对 Narada 说：“你还记得由 Indra 和其他半神人们对主所做出的种种冒犯吗？”
Because these demigods become proud of their position, and because of their pride, they're not able to make proper judgments.
因为他们非常骄傲，所以他们就失去了辨别力、判断力。
Indra was so proud that he sent rain to flood the whole of Govardhan.
Indra 是这么的傲慢，他就遣下了滂沱大雨，淹没了狗尔登山地区。
And Indra sometimes also fought against the Lord, did many offenses.
有时候天帝 Indra 甚至和主本人作战，所以他对主也做下了很多冒犯。
And Varuna, who is the Lord of the waters, like the ocean and so on, Varuna, he offended the Lord. He kidnapped Nanda Maharaj.
水神掌管海洋等等水域的水神瓦鲁纳，他因为绑架了南达大军，所以也冒犯了主。
And he failed to return the cows belonging to Bana.
他并没有归还属于巴拿的母牛。
And Yamaraj, he also made mistakes. He allowed the death of the son of Lord Krishna's teacher, Sandipani Muni.
阎罗王也犯过错误，因为他允许主的老师三地帕尼穆尼的儿子死去了。
And Kuvera was also responsible for the sinful activities of this demon Shankachuta.
库维尔也被要为这个邪恶的桑卡出的他所做的这些不端的行为负责。
In the lower part of the universe, then the Daityas live there. The Daityas live in the bottom half of the universe. Bottom part, the lower planetary systems, is where the Daityas live. And they always attack Lord Vishnu's devotees.
在宇宙的低等的星系当中呢，居住着那些 Daityas， 他们总是进攻主威什努的奉献者。
And there are many serpents there who live in the bottom of the universe. They're the friends of the Kaliya serpent. And they're always angry, these serpents.
在宇宙的底部，就居住着许多的蛇类，他们是卡利亚蛇的朋友们，他们天性就是容易发怒。
So Indra had told Narada Muni that Lord Brahma, he has the position, because he's the oldest in the universe, he can decide who should be the ruler of the different planets.
因者曾经告诉纳尔达，因为他是这个三界，他是统治者，所以他可以任命不同的星球的统治者的职位。
So Indra was glorifying Brahma in this way, saying Brahma is so powerful. He gives the positions to the different demigods.
所以因着这一番话呢，实际上是在荣耀 Brahma， 他就荣耀赞美婆罗克摩说，他有权利来任命不同的半神人。
But Brahma is showing to Narada Muni that this is not a good quality. Brahma is showing that actually he's not good at that job. He did many bad things, and he feels ashamed.
但是婆罗克摩告诉纳尔达说，他为此而感到非常羞愧，因为他不擅长这个服务，他做了很多的错事。
Because the different rulers who Brahma put into position, they committed many offenses against Lord Vishnu.
因为婆罗克摩指定的管理宇宙的不同的统治者们，他们对主威什努做了很多冒犯。
And Brahma considers that because he put them in power, so the offenses they made, that it's also due to him, because he put them in that position.
婆罗克摩认为是由于他指定了不同的半神人，所以他也要为这些半神人所犯的错误来负责任。
So Narada Muni, he knows about all these different things which happened. But Brahma is asking him to remember them.
Brahma 已经熟悉所有这些事件了， Narada 熟悉了这些事件了，但是 Brahma 在这里就请求 Narada 来考虑一下，重新再想一想这些事件。
Indra offended Krishna. He tried to destroy all the people in Vrindavan and all the cows.
Indra 冒犯了主 Krishna， 因为他试图摧毁 Vrindavan， 杀死那些母牛。
And when Krishna took away the Parijata flower from heaven, then Indra fought with Krishna.
当 Krishna 从天堂取走 Parijata 鲜花的时候 ，Indra 试图跟 Krishna 作战。
And Indra also criticized Krishna. He criticized Krishna as not fully respecting his supremacy.
Indra 还曾经批评 Krishna， 他并不尊重 Krishna 至高无上的地位。
Actually, earlier, Indra had mentioned some of his own offenses.
事实上，在早些时候，Indra 本人也曾经提到了他做的这些冒犯。
But his memory of the other offenses was covered because of his pride.
但是他本人所做的其他的冒犯呢，他已经忘记了，就是因为他已经被骄傲所覆盖了。
And the same way, Varuna, he had arrested Krishna's father, Nanda Maharaj, when Nanda Maharaj was bathing in the Yamuna River at a wrong time.
水神 Varuna 也对 Krishna 的父亲 Nanda 做了冒犯，因为 Nanda 是在一个错误的时间在河水当中沐浴。
Nanda Maharaj was bathing it was the last minute of the night, and it was the beginning of the Dwadasi.
Nanda Maharaj 沐浴的时间是在这个夜晚的最后1分钟，而且是在 Dwadasi 的开始。
So Varuna ordered Nanda Maharaj to be taken prisoner and bound and brought to his kingdom, brought to his court.
水神 Varuna 就命令将 Nanda Maharaj 逮捕，带到他自己的大庭上。
And Varuna also took some of the cows that belonged to Bana, and to have sometimes spoke. He also spoke sometimes in the wrong way.
Varuna 还拿走了本来属于 Bana 的母牛，并且他有的时候他的说话也是错误的方式来说话的。
And Yamaraj, as the god of death, he took away the young son of Krishna's teacher, Sandipani Muni. The boy was just a young boy, but Yamaraj took him to Yamaloka.
而死神阎罗王 Yamaraj 他也带走了 Krishna 老师 Sandipani Muni 的小儿子，因为那时候他还很小。
Yeah, Yamaraj, he allowed the demon, this one demon Panchajana, to kill the Brahmana boy, Sandipani Muni's son. He allowed this demon Panchajana to kill him.
Yamaraj 就允许了这个恶魔 Panchajana 杀死了他的Krishna 的老师的儿子。
And it's also described in some scriptures that Yamaraj also became an enemy of Krishna, and they fought in battle. They had a fight with each other.
经典当中也曾经提到说 Yamaraj 他也曾经和 Krishna 展开对决。
And then Kuvera had a servant whose name was Shankachuta. And this Shankachuta tried to kidnap Krishna's cowherd girlfriends.
Kuvera 他有个仆人叫 Shankachuta， 他试图绑架 Krishna 的牧牛女朋友。
So we know that the two sons of Kuvera, they had been cursed by Narada Muni to become trees.
我们知道 Kuvera 的2个儿子受到 Narada 诅咒变成树木。
So they got involved. They got involved with King Kamsa, and they were supporting King Kamsa.
他们就跟康萨王有了关系。
So beside the demigods, Indra, Varuna, Yamaraj, Kuvera, there's also the four principal directions. There are many minor demigods.
除了主要的半神人 Indra、Varuna、Yamaraj 和 Kuvera 之外，还有掌管其他方向的比较次要的半神人。
And they're all guilty of offenses against Krishna.
他们都因为对 Krishna 做过冒犯，所以他们都要因此而负责。
And those serpents in the bottom of the universe, they also get blamed because they're the relatives of Kaliya.
而就是在宇宙底部的那些蛇类们，他们也有罪，因为他们都是卡利亚的亲戚。
So then Brahma is now going to speak about his own offense. He said, just recently he said, I stole the calves and the young cow boyfriends of Krishna.
接下来布拉玛将描述承认他自己所做的这些错误。他说：“最近我刚刚偷走了 Krishna 的那些牛犊和年轻的牧牛童朋友。”
I took them all away. Brahma said, I took them all away while the boys were having lunch.
当这些牧牛童们在那里午餐的时候，我就把他们偷走了。
So this was the worst offense, this was the most serious of the offenses Brahma did.
这是婆罗赫摩所犯下曾经做过的最严重的冒犯了。
It was worse than all the offenses of all the other demigods.
他甚至比其他半神人所做的冒犯都要更加严重。
Krishna was having his lunch with all his friends, and they were in the forests of Vrindavan, and Brahma disturbed them and stole the cows, and then stole the cowherd boys.
当 Krishna 正和他的牧牛童朋友们在文达文的森林享受午餐之际 ，Rama 就偷走了 Krishna 的牛犊和朋友们，打扰了他的午餐。
And Brahma took them away and hid them in a cave.
婆罗赫摩把他们全都偷走，藏在了一个山洞里。
And Brahma said and after I did that, I saw some most amazing wonders, and I became scared, I became frightened.
婆罗赫摩说，在那之后呢，我就看到了一些最令人惊讶的奇迹，我就感到有些害怕。
So I offered prayers to the Lord, and I bowed down to him, and I thought, oh, I'm so proud, I'm so arrogant.
那时候我就向主献上祈祷，并且顶拜主。我心想，我已经变得如此的傲慢自大了。
But now I can see how the Lord, as a cowherd boy, he tricked me.
但是我现在看到了，主以牧牛童的身份，蒙骗了我。
So Krishna arranged for Brahma to see that Krishna had taken the place of all the cows and the calves for the whole time, for 1 whole year, because Brahma had stolen them away for 1 year. And for 1 year, Krishna took the place of all the cowherd boys and all the calves.
整整1年的时间 ，Krishna 就代替了 Brahma 偷走的那些男孩子和牛犊们。
So Brahma saw each of the boys and cows. And he saw that they were all spiritual, and they were actually the forms of Krishna.
Brahma 亲眼看见每一个男孩子和牛犊们都有一个灵性的形象， 而且都是 Krishna 本人。
And they were all holding, within themselves, they were all holding the universe.
在他们身体当中，他们都承载着宇宙。
So when Brahma realized how the seriousness of his offense, what he did, he became very afraid.
当 Brahma 意识到他所做的这些严重的冒犯的时候，他马上心里就变得十分的害怕。
He thought himself so proud that he had dared to come and offer prayers and obeisances to the Lord.
他认为他自己现在他这么骄傲自大，他甚至胆敢上前来向主献上祈祷。
So Brahma focused his mind on Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna was standing before him just like a cowherd boy, holding a handful of chipped rice and yogurt, which was his food. And Brahma's there before him offering prayers.
Brahma 就专心致志地将心意专注于主 Krishna。主 Krishna 手中，他以一个小木牛童的样子，手中拿着酸奶，还有碎米饭。
And Krishna had taken that food from someone else's plate. So Brahma was so surprised, he was just amazed to see the pastimes of Krishna.
这些食物是 Krishna 从其他人的盘子里拿的，所以 Brahma 感到异常的惊讶。
And Brahma's there offering prayers. Krishna doesn't even respond to him. He just ignores him.
当 Brahma 在那里忙着线上祈祷的时候，主甚至都不回应他的祈祷。
But Brahma says, just by the glance of favor when Krishna just passed his glance upon Brahma, then Brahma became very joyful.
婆罗河摩说，仅仅是由于 Krishna 对他的这种瞥视带来的恩惠，所以他自己就已经感到非常喜悦了。
And Brahma realized how fortunate he was that he could visit the land of Vrindavan, which is so dear to Lord Krishna.
Brahma 意识到他自己是多么的幸运，因为他得以拜访文达文之地，而文达文是主 Krishna 最喜爱的地方。
So Narada, he may wonder how everything was all right with Brahma. So after Brahma made the mistake and became embarrassed, Narada's wondering how is everything all right?
当 Brahma 犯下了这些错误，并且感到羞愧难当的时候 ，Narada 他就想知道，那么对 Brahma 来讲，那一切是不是都正常了呢？
I mean, Brahma's sitting in his own abode and he seems quite happy. So is everything okay?
因为 Brahma 他现在就在自己的居所，他感到一切都很惬意，所以 Narada 就想知道，那现在是不是一切都平息了呢？
So one answer Brahma gives is that he felt the purpose of his life fulfilled just by seeing Krishna's smiling face.
Brahma 给出的一个理由就是，他感到他的生命的目的已经实现了，因为他已经看到了主的笑脸。
And Brahma also feels that he was very fortunate. He got the opportunity to go to Vrindavan and to stay there for a little while.
Brahma 也感到非常的满意，因为他得以去文达文，在文达文待上片刻时间。
Vrindavan is the most sacred land, and Krishna is the only shelter for the people of Vrindavan.
文达文是最圣洁的地方，而 Krishna 是文达文居民的唯一的庇护。
So Brahma had not he had mistreated, he'd not dealt very nicely with these cows and the cowherd boys of Vrindavan. So it was better for him to leave Vrindavan and to go back to Brahmaloka.
因为 Brahma 曾经对这些牛犊和这些牧牛童朋友做了不好的事情，所以他最好还是离开，回到他自己的 Brahmaloka。
So Brahma said, I was afraid I would commit more offenses if I stayed longer.
Brahma 说，我担心如果我在那里停留更长的时间，我会做更多的冒犯。
So I left there. He said, I'm telling you about my bad luck.
Brahma 说，所以我就离开了文达文。Brahma 又对拿尔的说，我对我的不幸，我的坏运气，我还能说什么呢？
Vrindavan is the place where Krishna enjoys the intimate dealings with his topmost devotees.
在文达文，主 Krishna 和他最高流的奉献者之间进行了交流。
Materialistic people shouldn't stay there more than a few days.
物质主义者在那里停留的时间不要超过几天。
They should just stay long enough to get some transcendental benefit by contacting the Holy Land.
他们在文达文停留的时间呢，足以让他们得到圣地的，跟圣地接触的好处就够了。
But if they stay too long, they may become offensive towards the holy Dham.
如果他们在那里停留的时间过于长，就会对圣地做出冒犯。
And they may offend even the people of Vrindavan.
他们可能对文达文的人们做出冒犯。
So Brahma thought of himself as one of the ordinary conditioned souls, so he went quickly back to his own place. He didn't stay long in Vrindavan.
Brahma 把自己看成是普通的受条件限制的灵魂之一，所以他并没有在那里久留，很快就回到了自己的居所。
So Brahma doesn't have anything more to say about his own faults. He felt he had defeated Narada's praise of him.
Brahma 对他自己的缺点呢，他觉得没有什么再可说的了，因为他已经击败了拿尔的对他的赞美。
So Lord Brahma is now going to tell Narada Muni that he should go to Lord Shiva, that Lord Shiva is actually the person who got the greatest mercy.
Brahma 就想让拿尔去主 Shiva 那里，因为他觉得主 Shiva 是得到了最大的仁慈。
So Lord Brahma tells Narada Muni, he said, in the universe, there's the person who gets the greatest mercy of the Lord is Mahadeva Shiva.
Brahma 告诉拿尔说，在这个宇宙当中，倘若谁要是得到了主最大的仁慈的话，那么这个人就是 Mahadeva Shiva 了。
He is a very dear friend of the Supreme Lord.
他是至尊主的一个亲密的朋友。
Apart from Lord Shiva, everyone in every part of the universe, whether it's the upper or the middle or the lower, is imperfect.
除了主 Shiva 之外，在这个宇宙当中的上、中、下三个部分，没有一个人是完美的。
Of course, there are great devotees like Prahlad. Prahlad is a great devotee. And we'll hear about him later.
当然 Prahlad 是伟大的奉献者，我们之后会聆听到 Prahlad 的事情。
And Prahlad, we could say, he's a greater devotee than Lord Shiva.
我们可以说 Brhad 甚至是比主 Shiva 还伟大的奉献者。
But they're not really residents of the material world.
但是他们并不是这个物质世界的居民。
A devotee like Prahlad is never affected by material contamination. So wherever he lives, it's a spiritual place.
像 Brhad 这样的奉献者是不会受到物质的污染的触碰的，所以无论他去了哪里，哪里就是灵性世界。
So what Lord Brahma says about Lord Shiva is right.
主 Brahma 对主 Shiva 所说的话都是正确的。
Now both Brahma and Shiva, they're both guna avatars. This means that Lord Brahma is in charge of the mode of passion and Lord Shiva is in charge of the mode of ignorance.
婆罗诃摩和主 Shiva 都是 Guna Avatar 品质化身。婆罗诃摩掌管着激情属性，而 Shiva 掌管着愚昧属性。
So Brahma can understand Lord Krishna's mercy on Lord Shiva because it resembles something within his own experience.
Brahma 可以理解主 Krishna 对于主 Shiva 的仁慈，因为这份仁慈就很类似于他自己，在他自己的体验当中呢，他有相似之处。
But there's very, very special mercy, which is obtained by some devotee who is much greater than Lord Brahma. So Brahma is not able to understand that kind of mercy.
但是，那些比主 Shiva 还要伟大的人物，他们获得的仁慈是超凡卓绝的，所以 Brahma 他本人是无法理解的。
Yeah, if you want to compare things, then they have to be close to each other. They have to be similar to each other. Then you can understand one thing better than another.
当人们对两件事物做出比较的时候，他们必须有相似之处，否则的话就没办法拿来做比较了。
Just like if you took the weight, what is the weight of a blade of grass, and then what is the weight of a mountain? So you can't compare them.
比如说一片草的重量和一个山脉的重量，它们的重量就是相差如此悬殊，你是没办法拿来做比较的。
So when the goddess Ganga, the holy river Ganga, she says that the ocean is more fortunate than herself. She does not compare herself with Brahma.
恒河女神她曾经说过，海洋要比她自己更加幸运，所以恒河女神并没有把她自己和婆罗诃摩做比较。
But actually, Brahma is much more fortunate than them.
事实上 Brahma 要更加幸运了。
Much more fortunate than Ganga and the ocean.
婆罗诃摩要比恒河女神、比大海洋更加幸运。
So the same way, Brahma compares himself with Lord Shiva, and he doesn't compare himself to great devotees like Prahlad.
所以同样的方式，在这里 Brahma 就把他自己和主 Shiva 做出了比较，他并没有把他自己和 Prahlad 这样的奉献者做比较。
And Brahma cannot compare himself to people like the cowherd boys of Vrindavan and devotees like Prahlad.
Brahma 自己没办法跟像 Prahlad 以及像 Vrindavan 的居民这样的奉献者做比较。
So Brahma said, Lord Shiva is always intoxicated. by the taste from Lord Krishna's lotus feet.
Brahma 说，主 Shiva 总是因为由于圣主 Krishna 莲花足的滋味，使得主 Shiva 感到非常陶醉。
And he has no interest in any of the goals of life.
因此，他对于普通的生命目标就再也没有兴趣了。
He has no interest to want to rule the universe, and he has no interest in sense enjoyment, of being in charge of anything. He doesn't worry about that.
他就对于这个作为宇宙的统治者的地位也不感兴趣。他对于这个地位给他带来的享受，他也没有什么兴趣。
And he's no interest in even the sense gratification which you get if you become the ruler. You could get so much sense gratification, but Lord Shiva doesn't want that. He's not interested.
一旦人成为这个宇宙的管理者，他就会获得感官享乐，但是主 Shiva 对此不感兴趣。
But Brahma says, materialists like me, I'm addicted to sense gratification.
但是 Brahma 说，像我这样的物质主义者，就是我只是沉溺于感官享受。
But Lord Shiva, he goes around naked and he wears a garland of skulls around his neck.
但是像主 Shiva 这样的奉献者，他会赤身裸体的旅行，他的脖子上戴着一串骷髅头盖骨做成的花环。
His whole body is covered with ashes from the crematorium.
他浑身上下涂满了从火葬场那里的骨灰。
And his hair is scattered about and it's all matted, locked, you know.
他的头发披散着，而且都一绺一绺的缠结着。
And when he moves, it's like he's a madman.
当他四处游走的时候，就像疯子一样。
He's not able to hide his opulence.
他无法掩藏自己的富裕。
And on his head of Lord Shiva, he carries the Ganga water from the water which has washed Krishna's lotus feet.
主 Shiva 的头上就顶着恒河水，他把恒河水顶在自己的头发上。
And when he dances, he destroys the universe.
当主 Shiva 起舞的时候，他会摧毁整个宇宙。
So Lord Shiva has no ambition for anything material.
主 Shiva 对于那些物质的事物，他没有任何野心。
He has no desire to be a controller or to be an enjoyer.
他不想作为一个控制者，也不想成为一个享受者。
Other people, they all want world, they want to enjoy, they want to achieve position, they want power, but Lord Shiva has no interest in these things.
其他的人，他们想要享受，他们想要处在有力量，他们想要控制，但是主 Shiva 没有这样的愿望。
Lord Shiva only wants to be a servant of the Supreme Lord.
主 Shiva 只希望成为至尊主的仆人。
And in Lord Shiva's eyes, he can see that Brahma and Indra are addicted to sense enjoyment.
在主 Shiva 看来，像 Brahma 和 Shiva 这样的半神人，都沉浸于感官享乐。
And their garlands and their ornaments and the perfumes, they last only a short time. And so these demigods are never satisfied. They're not satisfied for long because these things are so temporary.
这些半圣人佩戴着天堂的花环、饰物和香水，只能持续短暂的时间，因此他们并不感到满意。
Lord Shiva's garlands, however, Lord Shiva has garlands which are made from bones and from different intoxicating weeds.
但是主 Shiva 的花环是由那些骨头制成的，是由那些令人陶醉的麻醉的草类制成的。
So when these garlands of Lord Shiva, when they decay, nobody minds very much. It's not a problem.
所以当这些花环它们凋零的时候呢，没有人会在意的。
So the Lord Shiva has these strange ornaments, but look, they're very attractive to Lord Shiva, very pleasing to Lord Shiva.
所以主 Shiva 他有这些奇奇怪怪的事物，但是主 Shiva 是很受到他们吸引的。
Indra and Brahma, they have opulent garlands, they're like divine garlands, but Lord Shiva, he's happy with his garland.
天帝 Indra 和 Brahma 他们都佩戴着天神般的饰物和花环，但是主 Shiva 的饰物跟他们截然相反。
So Lord Shiva, he has his externally, he wears this garland, his ornaments that appear strange, but actually his real ornament is the mercy of Krishna.
虽然表面上看主 Shiva 的这些事物都很另类奇怪，但实际上他真正的装饰品是主 Krishna 的仁慈。
Lord Shiva very humbly thinks of himself as somebody who doesn't have any mercy from the Lord.
主 Shiva 谦卑的就认为自己没有得到主的任何仁慈。
And he feels it's worthy for him to wear the weeds and the bones around his neck like a garland.
所以他认为自己佩戴由那些杂草和骨头制成的花环是非常合适的。
So this is how Lord Shiva lives his life. This is how he behaves.
所以主 Shiva 就是这样生活的，他的行为举止是这样的。
Okay, so we will stop here today.
我们今天讲到这里，看一下问题。Yes, there are 3 questions.
Okay.
第一个是Vrindavan Ishvari Devdasi。Gurudev，顶拜您的莲花族。我想参加经典 Sasha 的课程，最近国内有 Jalandi 玛的企业开课了，我参加哪个比较好呢？Vrindavan Ishwar Devdasi is asking you advice which Bhakti Sasha course to take, whether in China or by Jalandi Mataji.
Oh, you could take both of them.
2个都可以。
I don't mind.
那无所谓，都可以。
Jalangi's course will be quick. The other course will take a long time. So you could do both of them. Both be good for you.
Jalandi Mataji 的课程呢，它的时间比较短。国内的课程是比较长，所以都可以，您都可以。
Okay.
下一个是Rajendra Prabhu的，感谢 Maharaj， 感谢 Rajendra Prabhu。主 Brahma 不认为自己是伟大的奉献者，问题是一个合格的奉献者必须具备哪些素质 ？Since Lord Brahma don't think himself the greatest devotee, my question is that what's the quality should qualified devotee should have what kind of quality, character?
Well, we'll hear as we go on, we'll hear about all the different qualities different devotees have.
随着我们接下来继续聆听的话，我们就会聆听到所有的奉献者他们拥有的所有这些品质。
Different devotees have different qualities, some qualities more than others.
不同的奉献者拥有不同的品质，有些人的品质要比其他人的品质多。
We heard Lord Shiva's quality is he always thinks of himself as being a servant of Krishna.
我们在课中就听到主 Shiva 认为他自己是仆人，他认为他是主 Krishna 的仆人。
And he is very humble, he's very detached from everything material.
主 Shiva 特别的谦卑，他弃绝所有物质的事物。
So, Lord Brahma, his quality was that he was doing a lot of service on behalf of the Lord. He was overseeing, helping to administrate the universe, the problems in the universe.
主 Brahma 的品质是他为主，他服务了主，他为主做了很多的服务，他就负责了宇宙，负责监督宇宙，负责管理宇宙。Is the question?
Yeah.
下一个应该是让真婆婆代替别人问的。Hare Krishna， 顶拜您，敬爱的姑入，请问期待的本质是什么？对于一个发出期待的，不知道谁的问题。Hare Krishna， 顶拜您，敬爱的姑入。请问期待的本质是什么？对于一个发出期待的人，本身意味着什么？对被期待者意味着什么？我困惑了。人生是期待落空、被迫接受的旅程吗？Hare Krishna, obeisance, dear Guru. What's the nature of expectation? There are several questions all concerning with the problem of expectation. Should I read one by one or the whole question?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, so what's the nature of expectation for one who have that kind of expectation? What does that mean? What's the meaning for?
Well,
one?
if you have expectation, it means you're looking to get something from it means your service is not selfless. You're looking to get something from someone. You expect something, some kind of reward or some result. So that is not selfless. Devotional service should be selfless. But if you expect to get something, you have some expectation, that is selfish.
就是如果有自私的话，如果一个人发出期待，这就意味着他想获得某件事物，他的服务不是无私的，他是想从某人那里得到某些事物，所以他想得到一些回报，想得到一些结果。他的奉献服务并不是无私的，他有期待，意味着他是自私的。
Yeah. Okay. He
said, one more. I'm puzzled. Is that the human life, the life of human being, is that because his expectation go vain, therefore he is forced to accept a life journey because the expectation is going not fulfilled. So that kind of person has to accept some certain kind of lifestyle.
Yes, right. Yeah, you take birth again and again. So long as you have expectations from the material world, you'll come back again and again in different material bodies.
您说的是正确的，这会，如果他是这种，人生就是期待落空，他会再次的投生，他会反反复复的在物质世界当中一次又一次的投生于不同的物质躯体，因为他想在物质世界有一些期待。
Yeah.
Next one is thank you. 下一个是舒体如何这个 Darcy。顶拜咕噜，请问如果当地奉献者都不成熟，您建议联谊在家庭中，还是大家合租房子做中心呢？有时候因为这样那样的原因很难坚持，在家庭当中联谊，在这种情况下，是不是大家合租房子做中心，单纯联谊比较好呢？Should I translate?
Yeah.
Okay. Shruti Rupa Manaji is paying obeisance strategy because the local devotees are not so mature. Under the circumstances, what's your advice for our association? Should we associate in the hold association in our home? But if that's the case, because of various reasons, so there may be some problem. The association cannot go on very long time. So in that case, should that everybody pay some money? They rent a house to become a center simply for the reason of association. Thank you so much for the advice.
Yes. Well, yeah, you have to do what's necessary. You know, you can have programs in people's houses. You can alternate. It doesn't have to be in the same house every time. You can take turn one month, one person's house, another month, another person's house. You don't stay in the same house all the time. Different devotees take turns.
对我关于联谊应该是哪个形式的话，你就应该采取必要的联谊措施。那么可以在就是房子里联谊，但是不是每次都在同一家联谊，就一个月在这家联谊，下一个那个月在另一个奉献者家里联谊，这样呢，不同的奉献者轮流坐庄。
Sometimes we can also make programs sometime in the park. You can go in the park and be outside in the summer.
有的时候呢，联谊也可以在户外举行，在公园里举行，在某个地方户外的地方举行。
Sometimes you can find a place like a yoga studio. You can be in the yoga studio. If any devotees, a yoga teacher got a yoga studio, can use the yoga studio to have program.
那有的时候也可以有一个老师碰巧他是教瑜伽的，那么就可以运用这个场所。
So, sometimes we would go even to maybe somebody has working in the kindergarten and they can go home. Maybe you can use the have a program.
我有的时候呢，就是以前我们曾经就是有个奉献者，他在幼儿园，我们曾经在这个幼儿园也举行过。
Sometimes we in somebody's office.
还有曾经呢，我们曾经在某人的办公室，我们曾经在那里聚会。
Where's a good place?
你们只需要去找一。
And if you have the means, if you have the money, then you can rent a place.
如果你们有钱，就可以租一个中心。
Maybe you can have some devotee stay there. Maybe some devotee stays there. They also pay the money. They stay in the apartment. They can pay the rent, and you can also pay a little rent towards it because you have the meetings there every time.
那么就是租这么就是比如说一个人，他就是掏钱租了一块公寓，那么就是这个人，因为他住在那个公寓嘛，所以他肯定要付房租的。但是因为奉献者们也在他住的这个地方举办活动联谊，所以他们也要掏一些，分担一些房租。
Okay.
Thank you. 下一个是Chaitanya Rupa Devidasi。顶拜咕噜及奉献者们，我们应该有物质期待吗？比如说向 Krishna 祈祷，期待亲人健康起来。Should we have a material expectation? For example, we pray to Lord Krishna that we expect that our family members will be healthy, recover from illness. Should we have that kind of prayer and expectation from Lord Krishna?
Well, yes, just like when Prabhupada was sick, we asked Prabhupada, can we pray to Krishna for you? And Prabhupada gave us a prayer. He said, pray to Krishna, dear Lord Krishna, if you so desire, then please save Srila Prabhupada. So you can pray like that to Krishna, that, dear Krishna, if you desire, please cure this devotee.
是的，就像有一次帕帕生病了，然后他就告诉奉献者们，可以向 Krishna，为 Krishna 做出这样的祈祷：我亲爱的主 Krishna， 如果就是奉献者们可以这样为帕帕的祈祷：我亲爱的主 Krishna， 如果您愿意的话，请救Srila Prabhupada。所以，如果您想为某位奉献者祈祷的话，那么您可以这样祈祷，就是说主 Krishna， 如果您愿意的话，那么就请治好这位奉献者的疾病吧。
好 ，yes。Okay, Chaitanya Rupa, 明白吗？ Yes.
Chaitanya Rupa, 明白。
Krishna is the ultimate controller. So we appeal to Krishna. If Krishna wants, then Krishna will arrange.
所以因为 Krishna 是终极的控制者，所以我们可以向 Krishna 发出这种诉求。如果 Krishna 愿意的话， Krishna 本人就会做出安排。
We don't know what is Krishna's plan.
我们不知道 Krishna 到底有什么样的计划。
Sometimes Krishna takes people away. He has another plan for them.
有的时候 Krishna 就会把一个人带走，因为他对这个人有其他的安排和计划。
Okay. 还有问题吗？
No, Maharaj, that's all the question.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll finish here today then.
大家没有问题了，是吧？现在是没有。Yes, Maharaj, that's all for today's question.
Okay, 我们感谢 Guru Mani， 给我们翻译，我们感谢所有的奉献者聆听提问，我们祝福你们生活快乐，万事如意，身体健康。Hare Krishna， 今天的Ekadasi，多念诵，多记忆 Krishna。
Here in China, it seems that's tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. It was today here. Okay, well, tomorrow you have Ekadasi. I have today. Okay.
Hare Krishna, tiếng bài Guru Re Hoa Chú.
Gansha Guru Padmamukhi Mataji Tufuni Ganshinanda Fu Hare Krishna.